Aloha, lovelies. Um, Gerri here, and welcome to this vlog. I'm saying am a lot, haven't I? Okay, haven't I? Right, Gerri, stop censoring yourself. I've actually come to this vlog, with pretty much no idea what to say, but I know I want to express something. So I'm going to do my favorite thing on the entire planet, and I'm just going to connect with my heart, my truth. Um, with a really gorgeous, juicy, deep breath. And deep breathing is something that I've written blogs on, I've written articles on. Yeah, it's a really important thing, deep breathing, she says, still having not taken a breath. But something I just realized recently is that when you take a deep breath, you connect with your spirit. Your spirit, not the spirit world, your spirit. We're all spiritual beings having a human experience. So I'm just gonna zip and connect with my gorgeous spirit now, and let's just see what what's coming in today. It's not just because I connect with my spirit, don't be expecting something totally profound. Anyway, I still haven't taken that deep breath, have I? Here I go. Please feel free to join me. God, I feel so much more grounded now. It's funny that, isn't it? When you connect with your breath, your spirit, it grounds you. So I want to connect from the heart with you. Understatement of the year, but my God, are these interesting times or what? None of the old ways of being, as we change and as we grow and as we start and continue to create the new world of love and juiciness and, everything we dream of, as we move into that, we are rebirthing. We're like being squeezed out of the cocoon. We're strengthening our wings. And I shared in my previous written blog that we're already the butterflies. Our DNA has already changed. And interestingly enough, a few years ago, I had a vision of us as butterflies, but constantly going through the cocoon, the growth, the metamorphosis stage, and coming out with our wings and then going back in. And oh God, when I had that vision years and years ago, I had no idea how long it was going to last for, and it's still going on. It's even more wonderful, but it's also even more intense now. So what I was going to say a moment ago is that anything, any beliefs, any assumptions, any fears, and fear is at the root of everything that doesn't serve us. There's always two choices. Everything comes down to a choice of two things: love or fear. And all of our beliefs and assumptions and all of those things that don't serve us come from fear. None of that, I'm never saying we need to be perfect, but those beliefs and assumptions that we're not worthy, or that we're not good enough, or that we need to be perfect. There's a whole load of beliefs and assumptions that we can have, and it's not going to serve us. We're not going to be light enough and filled with love enough to move into this new world paradigm, this new way of being, carrying that heavy stuff, that density, those shadowy stuff. And it's not about years of therapy now, and it's totally, definitely not about whipping ourselves in the shoulder and going, oh my God, look at you, which I've been doing in and out, off and on the last little while as my stuff has been coming up. Like, oh my God, Gerri, you back in this again, It's not about that. It's just so simply, what's a shadow? What's a shadow? A shadow is something that the light has not been shone upon. So it's as simple as shining the light on the stuff that we need to see. So if there's something in our external world that's not making us happy, shine the light within and see. What is it that's in the shadow? What's hidden that's creating that in the external world? My favorite quote at the moment comes from the wonderful Chocolate Shaman, who I was lucky enough to meet and spend some time in ceremony with in Guatemala. The quote that I got from him and what I got from working with him was, when you look in a mirror and you don't like what you see, you don't try and change the mirror. And it's the same with what's happening with us at the moment in our lives, or, if we look at another person and we don't like what we see, oftentimes we try and change them, or we run away from the situation, or, if there's a situation manifesting and it's bringing us pain, or it's bringing us discomfort, or, not making us kind of feel good. We think it's to do with the situation, the people involved, or whatever, but it's always to do with us. So, one of the most powerful things that I've been doing, especially in my own life, especially with myself, and then I've been using it because I've also been running cacao ceremonies, and also in my one-to-one sessions. But as I said, I've been mainly doing this with myself. Is an old shamanic technique that I learned many years ago, and I've kind of shifted it and changed it through working with other people over the years. But it's about going back and seeing where whatever it is that's causing you anguish or pain in your life, where does that come from? What's the root of it? The emotion is always going to come down to fear. And what's at the root of that fear? And it's really going within and, getting clarity, shining the light on why that was born, why that belief or that assumption or that emotion, that fear, what was the reason that it came about. Every time that I've done this, it's been a really young age, but it's actually been stuff that happened between my parents. And sometimes it was just the most, the teeniest of rows or whatever, nothing kind of big. But because I was a baby or whatever, I just made up something so big. And, it marked the rest of my life. Okay, I'm going to share with you the process that I've been using, okay? And I've kind of blended a few shamanic techniques here from when I was studying shamanism in Glastonbury in where are we now? Was it in the 90s? No, it was in 2000. So anyway, I'm going to share, I'd like to share this process with you, and much gratitude to my teacher in Glastonbury and magician William Whitecloud. And I'm kind of amalgamating, through kind of wanting to go within and seeing why I was manifesting particular situations, I created this little process which blended in a lot of the things I've been learning over the last kind of decade. So I'm just going to list them. I'm not actually going to take you through the process now. So if you want to write them down, you can, play with it and let me know how you get on. So the first question is, so what's the pattern or the issue that you're dealing with? And I want you to just get this down into a short sentence, because we can go on with our flipping stories for like ever, but just in a really short sentence, what's the problem? And then the second thing is, what's the emotion? What are you feeling? And as I was saying earlier, it pretty much always, the root is going to be fear. So the third question is, set the intention to get to the root of that emotion. So, you could say, I choose to get to the root of this emotion that's been holding me back in my life. And then the fourth step is to close your eyes and connect with your guides, whoever you work with, your angels, your higher self. Connect with the power of your own spirit. And I also find a ceremonial dose of cacao is amazing for processes like this. And even without that, you can just connect to the spirit of cacao. And cacao is the food for the shift. So it's very powerful for doing this kind of work. So set the intention, connect with your guides and your helpers, those beautiful beings of light. And now I want you to imagine that you are walking along a path in a forest, and this can be a forest in your imagination or one that you know. And you can take your time walking along this path, but I want you to imagine that you're approaching a tree. And this is the world tree. And this is a beautiful, majestic tree with branches going up so high that you can hardly see where they reach. And roots going down so deep into the ground. And also connecting with your subconscious memory store. So I want you to imagine that as you approach this tree, a door appears in the trunk of the tree. And approaching the tree, I want you to imagine that you're opening the door. And as you open the door in the trunk of this beautiful tree, you're going to see a spiral staircase. And this spiral staircase, it's a very safe spiral staircase that leads down, and it leads down, and right at the bottom of this staircase is the root of the fear which is holding you back at the present moment. So you're going to walk down this spiral staircase, and when you get to 0, you're going to be at that memory that has caused this block, this fear. So you're going to count yourself down. 10, 9, so you're walking down the staircase. 8, 7, 6, further down. 5, 4, downwards and downwards. 3, 2, nearly there. 1, 0. And now you're at the bottom of the staircase. You need to let a memory emerge. So what age were you? And just let the first age come to you. And now let an instant emerge. What happened? Just detail that briefly. And now I want you to just tune into how you're feeling, what's happening in your body. You might be feeling an emotion. You might be feeling some tension in your body, a slight pain. It's simply a metaphor for telling you where there's some density or where there's a block that is It's time now to release. So on a scale of 0 to 10, I want you to get clarity. If 10 is intense and 0 is nothing, so 0 to 10, what number would you give that? When you've got that, I want you then to just breathe into that part of your body. And there might be more than one part of your body. So I want you to, either breathe one at a time or take a deep breath and imagine the breath going wherever you're guiding it to go to. Into that tension, into the density, the shadow. And as you exhale, I want you to blow that feeling out. So really let it go. So you're feeling the feeling. It's time now to feel that feeling. You might even want to just blow that out. Just really let it go. Keep breathing until it's released. Now, what I want you to do is to rise above that situation. Rise above this memory and view it as if you're viewing it from your higher self, from you as a spirit being that you are. And just see it from there and see why this happened, what the learning is. What did you learn from it? And then I want you to just get clarity on how it's impacted your life. What did you make up about yourself, about life, about others from this incident? And then again, just what did you learn? Is this different now? What did you learn? And take a moment for this, because you'll still probably be releasing emotions. And then I want you to move on to the final question. Take 3 really slow, deep breaths. So you're just moving more into your conscious self again, almost like you're, allowing yourself to come up the staircase and out into this beautiful forest again. And as you sit there or lie there under this divine, beautiful world tree, I want you to ask yourself, so what would I love? What would I love to create now? So, excuse me, allow yourself to really, excuse me, have some quiet, creative time to do this process. You might want to lie down. It's cool to lie down for this. Create some beautiful sacred space and really set the intention to get the release and the guidance and the the bliss. It's time for the bliss. Allow yourself to receive the bliss, because I did this process a few times last week, but what I realized was that everything that's going on, we agreed to play out these roles before we came into this life, And there's been some people in my life that have played out these roles so well that they've just caused me real pain. But they haven't caused it. I've been feeling it. I've caused it because it's my stuff that I need to clear, As spirits, we all agreed to be in each other's lives to play out these roles so that we can learn, so that we can become wiser, we can become more juicy, gorgeous gods and goddess beings. So, for me, that was the key from all of these journeys that I did, was when I rise above and I look at whatever is going on in my life, it's just like, oh my God, it makes it so much easier. It gives such clarity, and it brings me to bliss. And it just takes me, it takes me out of my ego. you know, and that's what causes all the flipping nonsense. And I'm not saying that ego is a bad thing. It's like, could you scratch it under the chin, tickle it behind the ear. You know, the more yummy and the more you kind of embrace your ego, as well as shining the light on it, the more you can kind of play together and work together to create what you love. So, let me know how you get on with that. And I feel like I have to, I'm not going to share like some wise words of wisdom before I go, but I feel like I want to say something juicy and profound. I don't know if I can do profound, but I just want to say something to close with. Oh. And that was weird. The light went off on my computer. I don't know why it does that. I don't know what I want to share yet, but I know that when I breathe, it's going to come to me. So before I go, I want to say aloha, because I'm in Hawaii at the moment, and mahalo, which is thank you in divine Hawaiian. And I'm going to do that breath now. And then I'm going to say something really profound. Not. Okay. I love you. I am your mirror. You're a divine, perfect, wonderful being. I love you. I love you. I love you. And congratulations on all the work you've been doing. A quotation came to mind. Gandhi? Be the change you wish to see in the world. Mwah. See you, juicy people.